rob you.
Well, Mike McDonald is now at the secondary feature table, along with Daniel Negreanu. He's raised from the hijack. He's been called by Ike Haxton. Action is now on Asian businessman Paul Poir.
Hey, remember Son of a Woman? Hooah! Hooah!
Poir calls as well. 3-way to the flop.
Ooh, for what? I'm intrigued.
Yeah, we've only caught one of his cards. Well, there is a 4, along with an ace and a king, so we know Haxton has top pair.
And Daniel's about to continue into 2 better hands.
A continuation bet of 36,000.
Top pair and the nut flush draw, and someone's betting into you. Tough not to be excited in this spot.
Haxton calls. And Poir folds. Heads up to the turn. 6 of spades. Haxton now has a lock on the hand.
And wow, Daniel's gonna double barrel this with a 0 equity hand.
85k.
And this is Daniel using his image. You wouldn't expect him to be this light very often. Obviously, it's bad timing on his part, though, because I cannot fold.
He calls the second time, and we go to the river, which is the Queen of Diamonds.
Ike whiffs, but he's still got the best hand. Can Daniel fire a 3rd time with an air ball? Of course he can.
Wow. Negreanu empties the clip, 185,000.
And for Daniel's style, this is perfect bet sizing. This is a standard value bet, and Ike's not beating any value bets, especially the kind Daniel usually makes.
Haxton folds the best hand.
Well done.
Show me a bluff.
Why?
I
never do that.
It would be so fun. Jesus.
He is laughing really hard.
That was poetic. It's hard to bluff Ike.
What the hell? Once in a blue moon, you gotta steam.
Nice job working off your image there, Daniel. Then you went and showed it. Now it's ruined. You ruined your image.
There's no titanium white chips, so that's out of the window. Looks like action has folded around to Phil Ivey, and he's going to raise it up. Looks like he makes it 3,300. Van Dyke Brown, yep, okay, I love it. Midnight Black, Prussian Blue. Nice. Yeah, I love it, guys. I love it. Which one is darker, though? All you Kappa Ross fans in chat. Which is darker, Prussian or Thalo? These are the important questions we're tackling here on the 100K challenge event. Not a bad flop for Dario, though there are 3 hearts out there. He has defended against Phil Ivey's button raise. Phil is going to bet here. Now, with just an open-ended straight draw and an overcard, I still think Dario is going to continue here. He is getting over 3-1 to try to make his hand. He might check raise as a bluff here as well. That wouldn't blow my mind either. And that looks like a raise to me. Maybe not. He does raise here. Nice. 13,000 here from Dario. Now, if Phil has nothing, he's probably going to just fold. If Phil has a pair of 10s, pair of 8s, any high heart, a pocket pair, obviously like jacks, queens, kings, or aces are not folding now. He himself might have a hand like queen, jack, or a hand like 7-9. Those hands also would not fold. And now if you're Dario, you are not happy about this, right? Oh, maybe you're getting a little happier here as the 7 from heaven spikes on the turn. So now you made your hand, but you're never like thrilled in this situation, right? Now I think you have to continue with the bet, right? Phil has too many hands that are just like ace-8 with the ace of hearts, or queen-8 with the queen of hearts, jack-10 with the jack of hearts, 10-9 of any combination, which has a straight draw now. 18,000 from Dario as he bets those Prussian blue chips with his straight here. Both these players are still pretty deep stacked here. We don't know if Phil's cards this hand, at least not yet. Now, if Phil continues here, you got to be at least a little concerned, right? The only thing you lose to is a flush, and it's very hard to flop a flush, right? But if Phil calls again, his most likely hand is a pair and a flush draw, maybe a pair and a straight draw, which are drawing dead against us or drawing to a chop. Phil does call here. The board does pair on the end. Now I suppose that Phil could have the set in this spot, right? That would make a lot of sense if Phil had a hand like 2 3s, raised on the button, got called by the big blind, got check raised. Phil would only just call in that spot on a 3 flush board, right? He wouldn't re-raise with bottom set. So if we're Dario, we have to be a little concerned here. So do we pump the brakes and drive slow, homie, or do we say, okay, let's bet and then fold to a raise? Remember, there's already 70,000 chips in the pot. Dario does check here. Now, if Phil has just a 10, he's going to just check, right? There's no merit in betting here at the 10. Are worse hands going to call you if you have Jack 10? I don't think so. Are better hands going to fold? Not much better hands, right? So I think the only hands Phil bets with here are single hearts that missed, full houses. Wow, and Phil shoves here on the river for 135,000. And you can see Dario is sickened here. I mean, what do you do with Jack 9 in this spot? This is an absolutely sick spot here. Phil bets 2 times the pot on the river. And remember, Dario has 60 seconds stacked on his hand. Actually, I think maybe it's 30 seconds stacked on his hand. I gotta double check how much he has at default. He still has his time bank chips behind. Those are those blue coaster sort of things behind his stack. What a sick river shove here from Phil Ivey. And yeah, this is the time to use your time bank chip if there ever was one. What do you do with Jack 9 here? I mean, you have to think Phil either has stone nothing, but would he just bluff shove the river? I mean, it is Phil Ivey. If anybody is capable, it's going to be Phil. But he would definitely play a full house this way sometimes as well, right? He could definitely play a hand like 8-8, 10-10, maybe a hand like 8-7, 10-7, maybe plays this way. I mean, but could Phil play a flush in this spot? I don't think Phil would. We're going to see a call. We're going to see these hands. Is Dario correct? And Phil shows top set. Bet 2 times the pot on the river and got full value. Look at that 341K pot. Wow. And what a sick spot with the Jack 9 there. I mean, you certainly can't fault Dario for that one, right? You're playing Phil Ivey, the best in the world. Man, what a sick hand. We've got ourselves an early contender for the sickest hand of the Aussie Millions, ladies and gentlemen, right there.
All right, let's get back to our featured table at the World Series of Poker, presented by Milwaukee's Best Light. Adam Jones from Sturgis, South Dakota, which is very close to Deadwood, where Wild Bill Hickok was killed playing poker. 7 deuce of hearts.
Wild Bill broke the first rule of poker. Keep your back to the wall.
Daniel Negreanu with pocket 9s. Daniel's going to raise it up to 2,200. Nobody gets a cheap card around here. Peter Antil with pocket 4s.
I'm sorry, did Adam Jones call with the 7 deuce?
Parts.
Okay, he's playing Lon McCarran poker.
There's David Stuck, a truck driver from Erie, Pennsylvania. King 10 offsuit from the big blind.
Boy, I would say that's a loose call from the big blind.
1,600 more it cost him. Jones, with the raise to him, will call 1,600 more to him.
Jones called another bet with 7 deuce?
4 to the flop. It is deuce, 4, 6. Antil got just what he was looking for, a set of 4s.
Very nice.
Stuck checks. He's drawing dead. Over to Adam Jones.
Reaching for chips.
Picked up a pair of deuces. He puts in 2,800 chips.
I know Jones used to ride Bronx for a living, so he can be a little reckless, but are we kidding here?
Special with Negreanu after him. Daniel's going to raise it.
10,300.
10,300 more.
Yeah, Daniel likes the flop. It doesn't seem to threaten his pocket 9s.
Antil calls. Stuck folds.
That was a nice smooth call from Antil as Daniel eyed him.
Got to tell Daniel something.
Oh, Jones gets off the horse.
So heads up, Negreanu and Antil. 8 of spades, no help for Daniel, who trails big time.
And Daniel slows down. Lon, he doesn't just have a 6th sense. I believe he has a 7th and 8th sense.
At least. Antil checks also.
Antil will not let him know the strength of his hand.
Another 8 on the river. Antil earns the check mark. And he's got the full boat. Daniel checks again.
Make it 15,000. Make it 15,000 with pocket 6s or pocket 4s. Which one is it?
Wow.
He's the best.
Pocket six or pocket fours, quick. Huh?
Take your pick.
It's either one. Can't be either one, buddy. Pocket sixes, pocket fours. Which one?
He'll break him.
But why would you check the turn? If you bet the turn, I was just going to fold. I really was. I was just going to give it to him. I mean, he had to have sixes or fours, but... 15,000. There's a gazillion in there. I'm going to fold the second best hand.
He's right.
Daniel is the only player at the table, Lon, who has access to the other player's hole cards.
The amateur had the goods on Daniel, but Negreanu was able to get away from that hand and saved himself a lot of chips with that great read.
Players. He's like poker's David Hasselhoff. You're really, really talented, Phil. You're really going to be a great poker player. I really like you. Can someone bring a hamburger to the floor over here? Phil Hellmuth raises to 2,000 with the Jack-5 of hearts. Anybody need some dry cleaning done? There's a lot of steam coming off Phil Hellmuth right now. Wow, what a flop. Hellmuth has flopped an open-end straight draw and a flush draw. Phil Ivey has a higher flush draw. Ivey bet 6,000. Phil Hellmuth would be totally justified in raising here. Open-end straight and flush draw.
Where is it?
And he's going to raise.
20.
Phil Ivey going over everything that's happened today as it pertains to this hand. I know for sure he's going to call the 20,000. Good chance he might try to put Phil Hellmuth all in right now.
What do you got? 90.
Phil Hellmuth sound like a little kid. How much money you got today? 90. Want to buy an ice cream? Maybe. How about we just shoot some craps? Definitely. Ivey's just going to call. Kings on the turn for Ivey. Quick check. Phil Hellmuth only has 80,000 left. There's already 60,000 in the pot. Hellmuth knows Ivey was in the small blind, just called the 2,000. Could easily have a hand like 7-8. He could check and see the river, or he can try and move Phil Ivey off his hand right here, go all in.
I'm all in.
He's going all in.
Cool.
And Phil Ivey calls.
Hold on, let's take a look.
Wow. Jeez, that's rough shape.
6 wins.
That is not the hand Phil Hellmuth was hoping to see. Those are the 6 cards he can win with.
Cooler boy. You want to deal it 3 times? Oh,
Ivey does not want to deal it 3 times. And no insurance because Phil Hellmuth doesn't have the best hand.
no. It's strange.
Wow, they both make the flush on the river.
Yeah, man.
Looks like Phil Hellmuth is leaving.
Well, the good news, if he checked the turn, he still would lose.
Phil Hellmuth chose to only fire 1 bullet. I don't blame him the way his luck ran today.